Okay, so protection checklist. It's funny that it took me so long to sit down to actually make this video because it's the easiest video that I'm ever going to make. Well, not really, because I had to make this protection checklist, and that took kind of a while. And it's still not done. It is a work in progress, and I think it's going to continue to be a work in progress for quite some time. However, I'm going to provide you with the link in the video description so that you can download this protection checklist and protect yourself and your wealth. When you get the copy of the checklist down there, you save it to your Google Drive by going File, Make a Copy, because the one that you're going to get is view only. All right, so this checklist will help you identify the different types of protection that you might want to have, something that you should review every once in a while as well when you have big life situation changes, or just every year, whatever you want to do. If you already have something, you might already have something that's listed in this checklist. You can review it, shop around for better rates. You might need to refresh your coverage. Like if something has changed, you might need more coverage, less coverage, or you can cancel it. That made me just think of PMI insurance, which I do not have on here. So that's something I should add. Each item has a why do people get it section. I describe what it is, and then there's a section like why do people get it. So if you fall into that, if that sounds like you, like why do people get it, and that it sounds like it's describing you, then you might want to look into it. I'm not a tax professional. I'm not an insurance. Well, I have an insurance license, but I'm not active in it. I'm not a finance professional. I'm not any kind of professional, so you should go and seek expert advice, of course, obviously. Don't just take my word for it. Go and do your own research. But I have to have that disclaimer in there, I suppose. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I feel like it's common sense that you got to learn it for yourself before you make any decisions. But I also say that I might not have captured everything, every single reason why people would want it. There's a lot of things in here, and there's a lot of reasons why people have it. I'm learning new reasons for example, why people have a will. You know, I might not know I don't know all the reasons why people would want to have a will, right? There's many reasons. And there might be reasons that are not listed here. Okay, so if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, critiques, send them to me. All right, and I'll do my best to answer them. All right, so for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this as myself and just mark off the items that I feel like I should have. And then I'm going to go and like look into each one of these items. And the part that we're going to be building here is you watched the last video on protection. You saw what protection is. So now this is just going through the checklist and seeing which items that I want. So the first one is a will. Okay, a will is a document that defines who gets your property when you die. If applicable, it also outlines who becomes the new legal guardians for your children and or pets, and how you pay your outlying debt and taxes. Dying intestate or without a complete will allows your state or judges to make decisions based on your state's inheritance rules. So the common definition, everybody has a will. If you haven't gone and made yourself a will and your own personal will, you still have a will. It's just whatever the state defines what happens when somebody dies. That's your will. So if you don't have your own will, you haven't made your own will, then some judge or some lawyer is going to come in and say, oh well, we have to distribute his assets this way because this is what the state says. All right. You can create a will without. Oh, all right. So they may make decisions that you would not have likely made yourself, and it could also cause family strife, right? The state might make decisions with, your burial perhaps, or your stuff that you wouldn't want to have made it yourself. Like let's say, for example, you have kids and you don't want your kids to receive anything. The state might say, okay, we're going to give this to your kids, right? After some other people get at it, I guess. But if you have a will that says specifically don't give anything to my kids, then that is your will. Your will be done. You can create a will on your own without professional help. Like a will is just something written on a piece of paper, right? Make sure the document that you create is legally valid and follows the rules of your state. It's just a piece of paper, but it does help if you follow the rules, and it does help if you get it like officialized through a notary, right? Because then it adds more credibility that, yes, this is actually your personal will. All right, I did a lot of explaining on the will. I'm not going to go through every single one like this because you can read it for yourself, right? I don't have to sit here and read you the document. All right, so why do people get a will? They're over 18. I think pretty much everyone should have a will once they become an adult. They have children or other dependents. There are people, organizations, or causes that they want or do not want to inherit their assets or debt. Okay, so a will is something that I'm going to want to look into. So I'm going to put a little X here. All right. Okay, a trust. All right, and you can read what a trust is here. I won't go so much into detail as I did with the will, but a trust is basically a contract that gives a third party the right and ability to manage your property for the benefit of a third party. As I proceed to read exactly what is on the piece of paper. So a trust, basically it gives you more control over your estate than a will does. And you can also have it distribute things as you're still living, right? So for me, a trust, my stuff is pretty simple. So I think a will for me is going to suffice. So I'm going to leave the trust to later. Medical advance directive. Okay, so if you get into an accident or you go to the hospital or you're in a coma or something and you can't speak for yourself, right? Then a medical advance directive, right? It gives somebody directions. You're giving somebody in directions in advance before the event happens so that the person, the doctor, or whoever is providing the care for you knows what to do or what not to do. Like, for example, if you know that you're allergic to somebody and not anybody else knows about that, then that is something that you would put in your medical advance directive. You know, the hospital is required to go and look and see if you have any advance directives there so that they're going to know that you're allergic to that particular thing. I don't have one of these, so I'm going to get one of these. Power of attorney. I don't have that much information on power of attorney yet, so I'm going to skip that for myself for now. Estate plan. Okay, estate plan is a combination of documents, right? So the above things that we talked about is going to be part of my estate plan. Okay, it includes a will, a trust, medical, advance directives, power of attorneys, other legal documents, pretty much anything that you want to, have left behind for you. Okay, I'm going to leave when I get a medical advance directive, that's by default going to become part of my estate plan. So in a way, it's a little bit redundant to have this on this page, but nonetheless, it's there so that you know what it is. So I'm going to get one of these. All right. So life insurance. Life insurance provides if you die or if you have some kind of terminal, critical, chronic illness, it provides you money. Oh, well, if you die, it doesn't provide you money. It provides your beneficiaries the money. Okay. So life insurance contracts provide financial protections for loved ones who will assume your responsibilities if you unexpectedly pass away. I already have life insurance, so I'm not going to review it or anything. Maybe I will review it. I'll put an R here for review so that I can review my coverage because it has been about a year and a half since I did buy my life insurance policy. Health insurance, right? I think everybody knows what health insurance is, really. It's high-cost medical care insurance. I already have it, so I'm not going to do anything with it. I signed up for a health share, actually, which is it's technically not health insurance, but it's a health sharing organization. It works it doesn't work in a similar way. It's quite different. Yeah, that's health insurance. Okay, vision dental insurance. When I go to the dentist or the eye doctor, I just pay out of pocket, so that's not going to be for me. Disability insurance. All right, so this protects my income in case something happens to me so that I'm not able to work anymore. Why do people get it? To replace earned income as a result of work precluding disability. Work-provided plans are not very good or only provide a short-term disability insurance. So this is something that I don't have and actually do want to get it because the primary source of my income that I live off of right now is earned income. I go to work, I get income. If for some reason I'm not able to go to work, I might be covered by, disability insurance for some amount of time, right? But after a while, I'm not going to be able to get that income. Like, let's say, a big part of my job is driving. if I lose both of my legs, I'm not going to be able to drive anymore, right? I'm not going to be able to do my own job. So my income from that job is at risk. So disability insurance protects me from that risk. So I'm going to look into disability insurance. Car insurance. I don't have a car, so I'm not going to get it. Homeowners insurance. I don't own a home, so I'm not going to get it. Oh, renter's insurance. Wait, I do have a rental thing. I do rent, so I'm going to look into renter's insurance. Renter's insurance, similar to homeowners insurance, but instead of protecting, homeowners insurance protects your entire, the things inside your house as well as the house and the property. Renter's insurance protects the same stuff minus the physical assets that you don't own. So if I get renter's insurance, it's to insure the stuff within my apartment as well as the liability coverage. If somebody trips and falls or slips and cracks their head open on my table or whatever, something like that. Things that probably are not going to happen until you say that they're not going to happen, and then they happen, right? Okay, long-term care insurance is okay. Typically for people like when they can't take care of themselves, they need somebody to take care of them. Long-term care is very expensive, so people who are concerned about getting long-term care when they're older, or if they have some kind of issue, I don't know, like back surgery, right? And then they can't do stuff like go to the bathroom on their own. So they want to protect their personal assets from being consumed if they need to pay for many years of LTC at this point. I'm not going to look into this. What I'm going to look into is disability insurance, right? And in general, what the general advice is that you get disability insurance to cover you during your working years. And then as you're nearing retirement, if you plan to retire, then you get long-term care insurance when you're around 40 or 50 years old. So you get disability insurance while you're working, and then you transfer it over to long-term care insurance. And disability insurance, one of the reasons for that is disability insurance typically won't cover you past retirement age. They have a cutoff. They say, okay, 65 years old, that's all we're going to provide you coverage for. Okay, annuity. Annuity is like a reverse life insurance product. So instead of you paying every period of time, every month or year, and getting a lump sum if the event happens, if you die, right? Annuity is the opposite. You put in a lump sum, typically, and this is typically, and then you get money back out periodically, monthly, annually, whatever. I'm not going to get an annuity. I'm not going to look into this. I don't think it's my belief that young people should never buy an annuity. You might want to buy one when you're nearing retirement age or are afraid that you're not going to have enough cash flow or money to survive retirement, and you want to have that peace of mind that you know you're going to have enough money, right? I'm not at that point yet. Accidental death and dismemberment insurance to be filled. I haven't done that yet. From what I understand, though, it's not that great of a policy, so I wouldn't imagine that I would get something like that. Umbrella insurance. So this is extending coverage amounts on other policy. So your car insurance, for example, might have a $500,000 coverage. If your net worth is $1 million, then let's say you get into a car accident and then whatever the judge says you got to pay. Oh, you got to pay $800,000. That exceeds the liability coverage of your car insurance policy. So the car insurance policy will pay $500,000. You're on the hook for the other $300,000. So that would come out of your own pocket. Umbrella insurance will cover you for that $300,000 if that happens. So it's kind of like additional insurance on top of the insurance that you already have, right? Okay, so if your net worth exceeds the maximum liability coverage of other policies, such as car insurance, I'm not going to look into this right now, but maybe soon in the future I will. Okay, pet insurance is the same. People get pet insurance for the same reason that they get health insurance for humans. Pet goes to the vet, hospital, can be expensive. I don't have a pet, so I'm not going to get it. Flood insurance, I haven't filled that out yet, what it is. Alien abduction insurance, I haven't filled that out yet. Probably not going to get either one of those things. I'm just guessing based on the name. Travel insurance, haven't filled this out yet, finished, and we kind of get to the end of the document here. Travel insurance, I didn't actually know about travel insurance until I made this document. But when you go abroad or you travel or something, you get travel insurance, I guess. So I'm not going to look at travel insurance. Maybe if I go traveling, then I'll consider it. But I've never gotten travel insurance when I've been traveling. I didn't even know about it until I started putting this thing together. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the easiest video of ever. So the ones that I'm going to look at personally are going to be renter's insurance, disability insurance. I'm going to review my life insurance policy, estate plan, and that's because I'm going to want to get a medical advance directive and a will. And that's it. So you can go through the same document, check off the stuff that you want to look at, and yeah, go search on the marketplace. Go talk to agents or people that sell these things and learn about them. You know, and if you want them, go get them. So, all right, guys, that's it. Easy, right? And that's the financial, that is the bottom of the financial foundation, this protection. And I will say that I built this when I first built my financial foundation. When I started getting into finance, I built this thing upside down. I started with savings and investment. I just saved and invested as much as I could. I didn't even have an emergency fund, right? I didn't have any debt, so I didn't care about this. And I thought insurance was a scam. So I didn't even pay it any attention. I was like, I'm young. I don't need any protection. I don't need insurance. But I mean, luckily nothing happened to me. I didn't, lose an arm or have to go through some really expensive medical procedure or a liability for a car accident or anything like that. So, it was fine that I built it upside down. But yeah, not everybody's going to be so lucky, I guess. So you want to build it from the bottom up, right? Before you even, like the good time, I don't know. This is an analogy. If you're building a castle, when do you build the moat? Do you build it after the castle is already finished? Or would you build it first? Or would you build it during the construction of the castle so that if your enemies come and attack you, then they have to deal with a moat? I would imagine you'd build it either before you start building the castle or while you're building the castle. So yeah, that's protection. Okay, that's it. Next, we're going to do debt management. We've kind of already done it, and the emergency fund too, we've kind of already done. But so it's going to be easy videos from here on. Pretty easy until we get to savings and investment. Oh, that's a whole nother can of worms. Man, I might just abridge that somehow or other. But yeah. Okay, that's it, guys. Bye-bye.